Okay. Miguel Cotto versus Daniel Geale. Um, it's supposed to be this Saturday on HBO. When I first heard that this fight was going down, uh, I didn't have a lot of interest in it, especially since the fight with Canelo falling through. Um, I wanted to see that Canelo fight this year, man. Canelo with Cotto. Excuse me for the yawning, people, but I wanted to see Miguel Cotto versus Saul Canelo Alvarez this year, but that deal fell through, and now we're left with Cotto fight Daniel Geale at a catch weight of 157, no less. Okay. Here's my take on it. I fully expect Cotto to win, even though Daniel Geale has some elusiveness. I'm not saying that we should sleep on Daniel Geale, because if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Geale has held the WBA and IBF 160-pound titles. Okay, so he's held two legitimate middleweight titles. So he's not a slouch. He's not someone that you can sleep on. But and he's a career 160 pounder. I fully expect Cotto to win this fight. But other than that, I'm still trying to understand. On BoxingScene.com, Miguel Cotto came out of his mouth and said that anybody that wants to fight him is going to be at a catch weight, or it's no fight. And I did a whole synopsis on Miguel Cotto. Peep one of my earlier videos on Miguel Cotto, and he's a diva. He's definitely a diva. Can't even take that away from him. At this point, I don't know how much of this diva-like behavior is warranted. But I expected this to happen when he got with Freddie Roach. Okay, look, I want to tell everybody something. Here's my issue. A lot of you all that are calling Miguel Cotto out for catch weights now are the same people who was rooting for Pacquiao when all of his big fights was being won by catch weights. As a matter of fact, Miguel Cotto was a victim of one of them. That man was forced to defend his title at a catch weight of 145. Right? So on one hand, he got with Freddie Roach, and Miguel Cotto was said, no, if you won't fight me, it's going to be at a catch weight, straight up. So on one hand, Cotto is basically doing to others what was already done to him. So on one hand. And on the other side of the coin, Miguel Cotto is acting like a straight diva, and he's not acting like the fighter who got that $50 million deal with Rock Nation Sports. Dude, a lot of people sleep on Miguel Cotto's resume. The man has a very, very deep resume. I'm not going to go into the list of fighters that he has fought, but, if you follow boxing, you already know what's going on with that situation. Cotto's resume is deep. That's why I don't understand why he's coming like that, but at the same time I do. All right. Cotto's clearly in the twilight of his career. He doesn't have that many fights left, and he's basically trying to cash out and get the easiest fights possible. And if he has to take on a hard opponent, they're going to cut weight. All right? That's just what it is. Cotto's acting like a diva. because he is one, and he felt that he's earned it. He's felt like he's been shafted too many times by boxing, by boxing politics, whether it be Bob Arum or whoever. And now this is what we get. This is what we get. A question was posed. Should he be stripped of the 160-pound title? I honestly don't know. A lot of people would say yeah. To me, I thought that 160 pounds was the limit. I didn't necessarily think that you would necessarily had to make the weight. I thought it would have been cool to come in at 157. You know what I mean? The limit was 160. At least that's me. But hey, I'm not a real fan. But I've been consistent with all of this though, because I'm not a real fan of catch weights. Boxing, originally only had 8 divisions. Junior welterweight, 140 pounds. That wasn't necessarily a real, a real division. Like junior middleweight, the 154-pound division. That wasn't a real division. That, 154, 168, junior welterweight, which is 140. All of those divisions, for the most part, are catchweight divisions. But it is what it is. I'm not a fan of catchweights, and I really don't know if Cotto should be stripped, because he's not going to defend the title. He's not going to defend his title at the full weight of 160. He's not going to do it. And if anybody wants to fight him, they're going to have to at least come to 157. I still don't understand why Sergio Martinez did it, but I understand he wanted the payday. So it is what it is. Geale Cotto though, he's a diva, but in some ways it's warranted. So I'm not too mad about it. But this fight with Daniel Geale, I'm not too interested in it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm just not gonna be that interested in it. But I got Cotto winning. I don't like the catch weights. It is what it is. That's boxing. It's something we got to put up with. And that's my rant on it, man. Y'all comment, y'all like, y'all subscribe. Until my next video, peace.